Okay, we're here. Last stage of the Bay Creeks, first stage of the Herald Sun Tour. You've got 2 teams here, have you?
Yeah, we brought 9 riders over, so we've had 5 riders in the elite race of the Bay Crits, and then 4 guys that have played in the support race of the Bay Crits. So, as you know, we've got a fairly young team, so the idea of coming over here is to give them some racing experience more than anything else. The training aspect, I'm fairly confident with all their coaches that they've got these days and all the access to the internet, they're all pretty clued up as to what training they should be doing. But one thing that I've identified with a lot of the young riders in the UK, in particular, is their set of race skills need a little bit of that could be improved. Yeah, fine tuning. So these races here in Australia, and the level of racing here in Australia is fantastic. It's a good level, coupled with obviously excellent weather, means that instead of doing 2 training camps in sort of southern Europe as we've done in the past, we've invested in coming over here to Australia. At the same time, we've also obviously got the Sun Tour taking place, so whilst the level of the Sun Tour is probably a little bit high for some of our riders, it's still a good opportunity for them to sort of experience racing with Pro Tour riders and the like, and some other really top class Australian riders. So that's probably going to be quite difficult for them,
because there's teams like your Budget Forklift, your Dre Pack,
good teams.
They'll have riders who are aiming for the Nationals, which is in a week.
Absolutely. Well,
so like you say, the levels.
Yeah, for them it's the equivalent of the Tour of Britain. The domestic teams here in Australia can't race the Tour Down Under, so as a consequence, this is the next biggest race for them now. So it comes at a time of the year everybody's mad keen. It's a new season, new start, so to speak. So yeah.
What do you reckon on the scene here compared to the UK, especially Melbourne? I'm guessing this isn't the first time you guys have been here. No,
I've been a few times now. Yeah, the first time I came over was 10 years ago. We quickly identified that the scene here is very, very strong. Yeah,
was that with MG?
No, we came over with the GB team. We went over to GB team that came over to do the Christmas carnivals on the track.
Right. Yeah.
So and so it was actually here where Rod Ellingworth, the Team Sky coach now, sort of developed his academy principles. He brought a group of riders out here. It didn't work as well as he wanted to, and decided, right, we're going to have to do it boot camp fashion, and that's what he set up. A year later, the academy started with the likes of Wiggins, Cavendish, Clancy. They were all part of that. Geraint Thomas. They were all part of
that. Because before that was a world-class performance program.
Well, it still is the world-class performance program. It was just a different way of doing it. Basically, Rod decided that they all had to live together. That was it. Yeah. Categorically, so they got a house in the outskirts of Manchester. They all lived together and basically trained twice a day. Some days they had French lessons, that sort of thing. So it was almost like a school environment. It was very much full on the approach, even down to teaching them cleaning their bikes properly, that sort of thing. Everything that you think riders know. So I even went in at one point to show them how to cook, because you've got like 18-year-old lads that have been looked after by parents all their lives. So
minute noodles.
Keep away from them. Yeah, that's right.
So Rapha's had a bit of a change up this year. You've got a new sponsor on board.
Rapha, Condor, JLT. Yeah, don't forget that. Yeah, that's correct. Yeah, we've had Sharp for the past 3 years. They've been a really, really good sponsor. Obviously, Rapha and Condor have been involved for over 5 years now, and JLT are insurance brokers that have come on board. They came on board in the middle of October. They agreed to work with us, so they've come in, and we're very pleased to have them on board. JLT are very big here out here in Australia as well. So it's looking good for another year for us.
There was never any worry with Rapha going to Sky and Sharp going to Garmin.
No, none whatsoever. The Sharp actually came to see me in April of last year to say that they had this opportunity of teaming up with a Pro Tour team, and I just said, look, out of all the Pro Tour teams that you could go with, other than potentially Sky, I thought Sky might be a good fit for them. But I think that was that would have been too much money for them. But the Garmin one for them is a good fit for them. And that was good. So we knew very early on that Sharp was going to be moving on. It gave us ample opportunity to look for another sponsor. So yeah,
will Rapha have close connections now with the Sky team for developing riders?
I think that's still in its infancy. I'm not sure if that's going to, if we're going to be able to capitalise on that. I'd like to think we could, but at the end of the day, the rider's got to be, the rider's got to be good enough. It's as simple as that. There's going to be no favours at that level. You're either good enough, to be a Pro Tour rider, or you're not. So I think it's still a case of it's the legs that will do the talking more than anything else. It won't. It's not going to be. It's obviously going to be an asset to be associated with one of Sky's sponsors. I think you're obviously going to be looked at a little bit more and listened to a little bit more. But the bottom line is they're still going to have to, do the business on the bike itself.
Excellent. Okay, thank you ever so much for your time.
No problem at all.